Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. So, morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. This is the Double Gameweek 34 deadline stream. We're going to get into it, lock in our transfers, talk, answer your questions, and as we do, just chat FPL. How you doing, Jordan? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. Hope everyone else is having a nice day as well. Busy hour, I think. It's Double Gameweek 34. It's going to be interesting. What plan moves you guys are doing, and obviously you get to see what we're doing with our teams.
Yeah, definitely. Let's bring up our teams then. So I'll quickly run through what my team looks like. I have done a early transfer, obviously, for those that didn't watch the team selection video. I have took out Ben Chilwell, and I've bought in Trent Alexander-Arnold for free. That's my one only move. It's confirmed. I was done pretty much, I think, 2 days ago, the transfer now. So, got Edison in goal. I've got Luke Shaw, Estupinian, Trent, and Trippier. And in the midfield 5, I've got Solly March, Mitoma, Rashford, Salah, Grealish. Then up top, I've got Haaland, who is my captain as well. So that is 10 double game week players. The only single game week player I have in the team is Trippier. And as you guys see from the bench, I've got Watkins, Botman, and Greenwood, as well as Kepa. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to play Trippier ahead of Watkins. Usually I'd play the attacking player, but Trippier against Southampton could be a nice fixture. It is at home as well, and Watkins has Man United away. So I am playing Trippier ahead of Watkins this week. So that is the team pretty much. The transfers are made. Trent is in. Captaincies, I think, is locked. I was thinking about going Salah for a bit, but I don't think I'm going to go there. It's just purely because I was chasing and I wanted to be different and break into maybe the 100k, but it's too scary to go without Haaland captain, I think, for me this week. But yeah, that's the team. Let me know what you guys think. Also, make sure you do drop a like on the stream when you're coming into the chat. We've got Garanch in the chat who says it's crunch time. Yep, it is. It's obviously this is the biggest double game week left for the season now. Game week 34. Obviously, there's more in 36 as well, but this is the last big one. So not long left now for the season to end. About 4 game weeks. So we've got to make the most of it and try and finish as high up as possible as we can. And that's why I was considering Salah, because there's not long left now to go different, if that makes sense, and break the template, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Jordan, let's bring up your team. Which is quite similar. Just run us through the 11 players that you've got starting.
Okay, so starting in goal, we have Steele, the Brighton goalkeeper, who has Wolves and Man United at home. In the back 3, we've got Trippier, who's got Southampton at home. Shaw with Aston Villa and Brighton. Aston Villa at home, Brighton away. Trent, who's got Tottenham and Fulham at home. The 5 in the midfield, we've got Rashford, who's got Aston Villa at home and Brighton away. Martinelli, who's got Chelsea at home. De Bruyne, who's got Fulham away and West Ham at home. And it's nice that his yellow flag is now gone. Mitoma and McAllister, who both have Wolves and Man United at home. And up front, we've got Isak, who has Southampton at home. And Haaland, who has Fulham away and West Ham at home. And on the team bench, if necessary, if they need to come on, we've got Edison, who's got Fulham away and West Ham at home. Watkins and Mings, who have Man United away. And Hillman, who has Brighton away. And I have, if you haven't watched my team selection, I have triple captained Haaland this week. So my triple captain chip is active, and it is my last chip I have remaining. So that is on Haaland, and the vice one is on Rashford, just in case something happens with Haaland. And yeah, that is my team currently for Double Game Week 34.
All right, we'll get on to your transfer plans as well in a sec. I'm going to read out a few more questions. I'm trying to secure 3 bills in my mini league, but I'm 100 points off. Do I triple captain Salah? Well, if you are chasing, this is the week to do it and go against Haaland. But just know that Haaland's got Fulham and West Ham, and he can easily get a hat-trick in one of those games if he plays. So it is that worry. Salah does have 2 nice fixtures at home to Fulham, who are, a bit on the beach now, you'd say. They're not They're safe. They're not going to challenge for Europe, so they're in that mid-table, section of the table. So no Mitrovic, and obviously Tottenham have conceded quite a lot of goals recently as well, conceding 2 to Man United, conceding 5 or 6 to Newcastle. So you could go there, but there is slight risk, obviously, with Haaland. But if there's any week you're going to do it, it's the only week you have left, really. El Padrino, morning, chaps. Morning, mate. Hope you're well.
Morning, Padrino.
Jordan, also your transfer plans. What are for those that don't know, what are you doing in terms of transfers?
Okay, so in terms of transfers, I'll switch to the next tab. So I got 1 free transfer and 1 million in the bank. And my planned transfer is the one I did mention in the team selection video, and that is taking out Martinelli. And replacing Martinelli, I was considering bringing in Newcastle midfielder Joel Linton for this single fixture against Southampton at home. The thought behind this is majority because Newcastle have been on quite a decent run of goal sprees as well. And Joel Linton, if we look at his returns, so in the 6-1 win over Tottenham, he got a 12-pointer. He scored a goal and got an assist. And against Everton, Newcastle won 4-1 in game week 33, where Joel Linton again got 9 points. He scored a goal as well in that game. So he had back-to-back returns, and Newcastle look pretty good currently at the moment in terms of there's a lot more goal scorers, there's more variety. It's not just Wilson or Isak. There is variety going around at the moment with especially Joel Linton. And not on top of that is Newcastle do have a double in coming up 36. So this sets me up nicely for the double that Newcastle have as well. If I bring Joel Linton in early, it's similar what I did with Kevin De Bruyne. I brought him in 1 game week early in that Arsenal game, and now he's set for the double. So it's similarly the same with Joel Linton. I wish I brought him in though in game week 33, but I guess I'll bring him in now. I mean, I lost his points from the previous game week, but hopefully he can obviously have a good game at Southampton at home, which that team is struggling, and Newcastle look great on form.
Okay, so Joel Linton is coming in for you for Martinelli, which could be a good move. See, Newcastle are playing really well right now. Switching back over to my team. Yeah, I've got obviously Grealish in my team. I'm hoping that he can start both. We'll see. There's a slight doubt with Grealish and whether he starts both games. Salah, I'm confident that he will play both as well. Obviously, I've got the triple Brighton as well. March, Mitoma, Estepinian. That should be good. 2 home fixtures for Brighton as well. But yeah, in regards to game week 34, it will be a high scoring week. I'm guessing obviously a lot of doublers. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not taking any hits this week either because only last week I took a -8, which didn't pay off, but I would have took the -8 this week regardless because I would have took Saka out. I would have took Bruno out probably as well. And I wanted Trent and Salah, and I can't get them in with the budget of my team.
It's an interesting thing because between Joel Linton and Bruno, Joel Linton's been transferred in more than Bruno has, even though he has a double, and Joel Linton has a single, which I found quite interesting.
How many transfers in does Joel Linton have?
Joel Linton has about...
Check. Hold on. I don't see Joel Linton on this list. Rashford is the highest transferred in player this week. Then is Stones. Grealish is 3rd. Then is KDB 4th, most transferred in. Trent is 5th. Yeah, Trent is 5th. Now Joel Linton isn't. He's not in. He's not up there. If you go transfers in and then go by round, Rashford is the highest with 810,000 managers transferring Rashford in. So Rashford has a nice double this week. So that's going to be a popular move. Stones, surprisingly, is the second most transferred in player this week. He did score, I think, a few game weeks back as well, didn't he? Obviously, he scored against Arsenal as well. Has back-to-back games where Stones has scored, so a lot of people are now jumping on Stones. Grealish, who I do own, is the third most transferred in player as well. Obviously, Grealish did blank against Arsenal, but he's been on a very good run of form as well, scoring in the last. I think he's got 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 4 games. Grealish, so he's still doing well. But yeah, I took a hit to do Saka to Bruno. Yeah, I think that will be worth it. But possibly Bruno has a double game week against Villa and Brighton, whereas Saka has Chelsea. You'd expect to make those points if it's at -4 back just by the minutes played. Johnny says, I am on a free hit this week. Who would you prefer, Lindelof and KDB or Darwin and Mahrez? Strange because one's a defender and then you got an attacker and a midfielder.
I'll go for Lindelof and KDB.
Yeah, I'd probably go KDB because Darwin might not even start. That's the worry with Darwin. Will he start both? Probably won't start both. He might start one. So I'd probably go KDB route. But Lindelof, I wouldn't want to have Lindelof. I'd rather have any other Man United asset probably than Lindelof. But Lindelof has low ceiling. Like only way he's going to get points is clean sheets, and Man United do have a tough double. You think Robbo could be rotated? Robbo, Isaac, or Shaw, Jota? I would go for Shaw and Jota, I think, if I had to pick. Could Robbo be rotated? Potentially, but I think it's quite unlikely. I don't expect Tsimikas to play. Liverpool have started playing this inverted right-back role for Trent, and Liverpool are building up with 3 at the back now, and Robertson is essentially coming on he's playing as a bit of like a left centre-back. So I don't know whether Tsimikas can play that left centre-back role that Robbo is in right now when Liverpool have the ball. So I don't think Robbo will be rotated. It's going to be interesting to see what Liverpool do in the summer if they keep this formation going into next season. They'll need to buy another centre-back. But no, I think it's unlikely Robbo gets rotated. But if I still had to pick, I would go for Jota as the third Liverpool slot instead of Robbo. That's just my opinion on it. I think Jota is still a good pick. I know there was rumours that he had a little issue with his back, but Klopp did say he should be fine. As we know, Klopp does keep things close to his chest as well regarding injuries. But I do think Jota is worth it for the punt. Personally, I would do Jota. Just looking at Jota's ownership here. So Jota is owned by 5.7% of FPL managers. So he is a differential still. And a lot of managers won't be able to get to him. So, yeah, for me, it's easy Jota over Robbo. But obviously, the trading session missing out on that was a bit of a worry. Thoughts on Kane, Jensen, Watkins to Greenwood, Salah, Isaac for a -8 from Elliot. For a -4, I think. What do you think about this transfer for a -4, Jordan?
If I own Kane right now, I think it would be very hard to obviously take him out after coming off an 11-pointer as well last game against Man United. So the rest of it though, to take out Jenkins and Watkins.
So the thing is, you have to take Kane out to get Salah in, obviously the money. So it's either Kane or Salah, basically.
Yeah, something tells me I'd rather keep Kane in and not bring Salah in. But at the
I
same
think that's
time,
risky for me.
It is risky. I'm going without Salah in my team. But again, you've got Isaac as well. You'll bring in as well for that -8, which if he does start today, he could have a very good game. It's a tough one, Elliot. I'd probably do it though. Still, I'll probably do 2 Greenwood, Salah, and Isaac for -8.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do have Salah in my team, and looking back 2-3 weeks ago, I was always planning on having Salah, so I'm fairly confident that Salah will get a return in these games. If I look at Salah very quickly, obviously he did blank against West Ham, in game week 33, but Salah scored against Nottingham Forest in game week 32. He scored 2 goals against Leeds in game week 31. He scored a goal against Arsenal in game week 30 as well. He scored against Man City in game week 29. So looking at Salah, in the last 6 games, he has 3, 4, 5 goals in 6 games. So the form is pretty good for me anyway. 5 goals in 6 games, as well as he did get a double-digit return as well against Leeds. So yeah, I think Salah's still good, and I'm hoping people don't maybe look at Salah, and hopefully he's underlooked. So it makes more of a differential. But I do think Salah is going to be high owned this game week. Obviously, ownership is 34%. But because Kane has a single against Liverpool, and I don't see Spurs winning personally. We'll come on to predictions later on. I could see Kane scoring, but maybe 1 goal. Where Salah has 2 games, so I would prefer Salah over Kane 100% this week. Is Gakpo a good cover for Salah? Probably not for me, because Salah is on penalties. But I think Gakpo is a nice differential if you are chasing and you want to be different. But it's hard to say he covers Salah. Salah's on penalties, and as I said, 5 goals in 6 games. I think we forget that as well. Maybe a bit underlooked. Felix says, should I be bench boosting, or is there a good week coming up on bench boost? Leno, Trent, Estupiñán, Diaz, Shaw, Mitoma, Grealish, Saka, Rashford, Haaland, Jesus, Kepa, Trippier, Watkins, Andreas Pereira. I think if you look at it, there's not really any other time you'd bench boost, if I'm being honest. Obviously, this is the big double, so I would probably use the bench boost if you can, because I don't see any other week you'd want to use it. You could use FPL.team and plan your future moves and see what your team looks like. But I think this could be the week. What do you reckon, Jordan?
Yes, the most doubles you'll get in this week, because 36, there aren't many doubles, and then 37, there's a few more, but it won't be as many as there is in Double Gameweek 34. So this is probably the best opportunity you'll get out of the bench boost to use it in this week, Felix. Otherwise, you might not get a better opportunity from now on, because there's less double game weeks where not everyone like this game week is going to obviously play double.
Damien says, I'm quite interested in the Fernandes v Grealish. Who scores more points? Chief with a similar question. Should I sell Bruno for Grealish? Onto this topic, if I had Bruno right now, I wouldn't sell him. So to answer your question, Chief, if you've got Bruno, I would just keep him and play him against Villa and Brighton. He is fit. We saw him play against Tottenham after that slight worry about injury. He's going to play both, I think, and he's on penalties. He's on set pieces. He's still highly involved. I know he's had a few blanks in recent weeks, but if you've held him for this long, Bruno, I think you have to give him this double game week. So I would prefer Bruno over Grealish if you already have him. In regards who to bring in, I'm quite interested in the Fernandes v Grealish. Who scores more points? Again, it's hard to say, because there is slight worry that Grealish might miss one of the games because of Pep rotation or Pep roulette, sorry. And we expect Bruno to play both the games. So in that sense, to answer your question, Chief, yeah, as I said, I would just keep Bruno. I think Bruno is a very good pick this week still. I know a lot of people have been turned off by Bruno because of the blanks, but I think Bruno could deliver in those 2 games. I just have a feeling. So I would keep Bruno. Grealish on the subject of Grealish, I think I'm quite happy to hold him as well. So either way, I'm happy to hold, but I don't think it's worth a transfer out. Would you do Gakpo in for Martinelli, Jordan?
Yes, I think any transfer for any Arsenal player now is worthwhile, especially if they have a double like Gakpo. And he is one of the favourites to go for if you're tripling up on Liverpool assets, because obviously Gakpo is one of those players that can either score or provide an assist for a player that does score, like Salah. So I think he'll be a good in this double, Gakpo, even if he doesn't play full 90 minutes in games, and hopefully he starts in both. Then I think he's a good pick to go for. He's low owned as well comparatively to the other Liverpool assets like Trent and Salah, who are more highly owned this week. So it's nice to go for a different player that's low owned from Liverpool like Gakpo.
Elliot also says, is a -12 worth it so I can bring in Salah, Akanji, Dalot, McAllister, and Greenwood?
Oof.
Oof, -12s. I don't know you about taking hits that big. Depends who you're taking out as well. It'd be nice to know who are you actually removing from your team. I'm assuming you're going to remove players that have single game weeks. Obviously, Salah has a double, Akanji has a double, Dalot has a double, McAllister has a double as well. I mean, that could be wildcard territory if you've not got a wild card. I don't know if I take a -12 personally. It depends who you're taking out as well. But yeah, it is interesting to that the Bruno chat as well, Bruno Grealish, because I took Bruno out last week. It didn't pay off obviously because Bruno got an assist and Grealish blanked, but it was more for this double and more to take money out to afford Salah because Bruno obviously is quite expensive. But yeah, I still would keep him. Damien with a question as well. I am stuck. Who to start, Trippier or Isak? Southampton look terrible and Isak might get a haul.
I have seen this question a lot on Twitter. Who to start, Trippier or Isak? It's quite interesting how many people are in the same dilemma. Because I'm in the position where I can play Trippier and Isak at the same time. So I know a lot of people will want to go 5 in the midfield, and that requires either not starting Trippier or Isak. Personally, for me, I'd rather start Trippier. This is probably just to be safe to go for Trippier, but if you're feeling more risky, I think Isak is the way forward. Because if he starts in this Southampton at home game, which I'll be very surprised if he doesn't, the way he played last game, and he only came on for 14 minutes. So I don't know why Eddie Howe doesn't play both, because Isak and Wilson played both on that match last time they played. So I'd probably go Isak if you're going risky. I mean, you have nothing to lose. I think if you bench Trippier, unless you get something from that game, but he has had a lot of blanks in previous game weeks.
I think Trippier has had 10 blanks in his last 12 games. So he's not returned in weeks after returning every week, it seemed. So Trippier has had a lot of blanks, which has come as a surprise. But if you are chasing, let's say, you're outside the top 100k, Isak is a differential. Southampton's a good fixture for him, and you could take that punt and just play him. We've got Drew in the chat who says, I'm thinking Kane and Henry out for Jota and Trent for a -4. Yeah, I like these moves. I think Henry obviously doesn't double. Kane doesn't double. And you're bringing in 2 Liverpool players that do double for a -4. I think that will easily make it up, especially Trent. You can see, I think Trent has a potential for a mega haul this week. If you look at it, his 2 fixtures at home. If he gets 1 assist, if he gets 1 clean sheet as well in one of those games, then you're looking at a double-digit return from Trent. So I do see double-digit returns from Trent this game week. Possibly in that Fulham game, even against Spurs, I could see Trent getting an assist with the new role he's playing in. So I think Trent, don't want to say he's essential, but I do think he's going to have a good game week. And then, Jota as a nice differential makes sense as well. Chief also adding about Jota. Look, I've spoke about Jota quite a lot. I think he is a good pick. I do believe he'll play. A lot of people have bought Jota in. So, yeah, I think Jota, low ownership, under 6%. Let's take a quick look at Jota, actually. He did blank against West Ham. He only played 60 minutes against West Ham, but I think that's because Klopp wanted to rest him, knowing that we've got Tottenham on the weekend. So that wouldn't worry me too much. He did score 2 goals against Nottingham Forest. He also scored 2 goals and got an assist against Leeds. So that's 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 3 games. He is on form in a sense that in terms of goal scoring. I will still prefer Salah over Jota, but I do like Jota to be different. And you are chasing this the week. If you can bring Jota in, I am quite jealous of the people that can fit him into the team. Too much ahead of you both in the mini league. I might just go for Isak. Thanks, gents. To move ahead of you both in the mini league, I might just go Isak. Yeah, look, Isak is a good pick. Obviously, Jordan bought him in last week. He didn't start, but he's one of those players that has high ceiling. If he does start, he can get a couple of goals against Southampton, and you just got to pray that they start him. But yeah, obviously Jordan, Isak, I'm assuming you bought him in for that 36 double as well, looking ahead to that.
Yeah, In the long term run, yeah, because Newcastle will double in 36, and I think having these Newcastle players in early will be quite to a benefit because they have been on quite a good run in the last 2 game weeks, scoring high. So
Yeah.
I think in the double they'll be really good. Newcastle do want to obviously push for that, or to finish in third if they can. So it'll be a strong finish for Newcastle and to qualify for Champions League. So there's a lot to play for them still.
Mm.
And the way Newcastle are playing, I think going with these players early is a decent move.
Yeah, Newcastle have scored 10 goals in the last 2 matches. Obviously, against Everton, they scored 4, and then against Spurs, they scored 6. So their players are quite, they are scoring. So getting in a player like Joe Linton could pay off. My team right now is Raya, Trippier, Botman, Henry, Shaw, Estupinian, Grealish, McAllister, Mitoma, Rashford, Bruno, Kane, Haaland, Watkins. Any other transfers you would do? I mean, I like the moves you've got planned. I think your midfield looks fine. Grealish, McAllister, Mitoma, Rashford, Bruno. That looks like a good midfield to me. I would do the Jota move, and I would definitely bring Trent in as well. So yeah, I think the move you're planning is looks good. Um, yeah, I think the moves you've mentioned is fine. Is Kepa to Edison worth it for a -4? Jordan, I'll let you answer this one as the Edison.
Personally, no, because as much as it sounds crazy, Edison could potentially concede in both of those doubles. And I'm not just saying that because I'm not playing him or starting. There has been a pattern where we've seen in matches where Edison in the late stages of the game, where Pep has done substitutions for players, it's always after that where they concede at least one goal each time, and it's an ongoing pattern. Apart from certain games, like I think in Crystal Palace where they got a clean sheet, and since then
Yeah,
they've been conceding at least one goal every time Pep makes substitutions. So it is a possibility that Edison, at some point in that game, later stage, could concede one goal, and he can't save anything at the moment. Any team takes one shot at Edison, and he doesn't manage to save them either. So
yeah.
it doesn't fill with much confidence bringing in Edison, especially for -4, which I don't think it's really worth it if he's
Also,
going to concede.
I was going to add, Edison has 2 clean sheets in his last 11 Premier League games. So if you just look at that, it doesn't make sense to bring him in for a -4 because he's conceded against Spurs, Villa, Arsenal, Forest, even conceding. They conceded against Bournemouth in a 4-1 win. Obviously, they did have back-to-back clean sheets in game week 26 and 27 against Newcastle and Palace. Then the last 4 games, again, they always concede that one goal every game, it seems. They're usually cruising as well. They're usually 3-4 up, and then 10 minutes to go, they usually concede. So I don't know if it's worth it. Looking at the fixtures, though, I do still believe they'll get at least one clean sheet, Edison. Surely he'll get one clean sheet at least in that 2 games. But you've got to weigh it up. It could be worth it. Do you know why I actually say it could be worth it -4? Because Edison has another double game week in 37 against Chelsea and Brighton. So if you look at Edison's fixtures, Fulham and West Ham is a nice double. Then Leeds and Everton, which Leeds and Everton, I can see clean sheets for Man City. And then another double in 37. It could pay off the -4. So still, I think it could be worth it still. I'm not ruling out completely. Already taken a -4. Should I take another hit to replace Kepa for a double game with keeper? Yeah, on this subject of Edison, Edison's the one that I'd be looking to bring in. But as we mentioned, he's not kept many clean sheets. It's whether you think he'll turn it around. I'm hoping he can. Whether it's worth a -4, I'm not sure. But he does have a double in 34 and 37 and decent single game week fixtures in 35 and 36.
Yeah, personally, for double game week keeper, I would favour more still. He's much cheaper than Edison. Edison's 5.4 million, so he's a bit of a pricey goalkeeper. And if he isn't going to get the clean sheets that we all hope he will in this double, then it's definitely, you don't feel it's worthwhile, especially with the clean sheets Man City haven't managed to get this season against teams you expect them to get them. And with still, he did outscore Edison last game week because he did get a 10-pointer, whereas Edison obviously got 2 points. So I can easily see still outscoring Edison is double. That may backfire, but that just the way it looks like comparatively to Man City and obviously Brighton. I just see Brighton goalkeeper still getting more worthwhile in this double game week.
Yeah, -4. I don't know if it's worth it, if I'm being honest, for a goalie, because he'll have to get a clean sheet just to make up the points. So in that sense, might not be worth a -4. But you could just play your goalie. I'm sure you've got a decent goalkeeper. I mean, if you've got Kepa against Arsenal, then it might not be the greatest goalie to have this week. Willock might be worth a cheeky punt in Game Week 36. Yeah, it could be, definitely. I am keeping my options open for that third slot in Game Week 36. I will be bringing in a Newcastle attacker. Just don't know who yet. What's the news about Jota injury? Well, Jota is currently flagged on FPL. I don't know how serious it is, because Klopp did say he should be fine. Even if he starts one game, could he be worth it? I think he could be. But ideally you'd want him to play both, I think, or it's not as worth bringing him in for a hit.
It doesn't feel with much confidence that he missed training as well.
Yeah, that was seen. So what is Klopp's exact quotes are: Diego got a bad knock in his back, but he should be all right. We will see how that developed. That's what he said. I think he might be at risk of starting one. He could start one and then come off the bench for one. But I think it is like a Bruno KDB situation where it's not really a serious injury, and he came off after 60 minutes last game. So I think he'll be fine. But if you want to take that risk, guys, it's up to you. I think he could be worth it just because of how differential he is. KDB or Grealish on a free hit. I would go KDB, I think, on a free hit because he's lower owned. So I'd want to go different on a free hit, because if you are chasing, then obviously if you look at Grealish's ownership, it is 16%. Obviously KDB I think is under 10% probably. So I would go KDB on a free hit, I think. But I like Grealish as well.
Is that ownership?
Yeah. What's KDB's like 8% or something, isn't he? Or is he lower than that? I think he's lower than that.
His ownership is 28%.
Oh, 28% KDB.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
He's been heavily transferred in though from Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm just looking at I didn't realize KDB's ownership shot up that much. But yeah, I still would go KDB, I think. And I do like Grealish as well. I'm hoping people are put off by that blank with Grealish and Salah. Obviously the hype is on KDB this week, but KDB hadn't scored in weeks, and then he gets the 2 goals. So it's the whole Saka debate from a few weeks ago, when I remember when Arsenal got knocked out in the Europa League and Saka blanked, and a lot of us were saying Saka looks tired, he might not score, and then he goes and scores 2 goals, and then so I just think bring in players that you think would do well and that are guaranteed to get minutes, and hopefully it pays off. But KDB does look nice in terms of differentials. Who's the best City defender for a free hit? I think Diaz, probably. Ruben Diaz, probably the only one that might play both, like nailed in that sense.
Maybe Ake as well.
Also Stones. I prefer Stones. I think Ake's injured. So Ake's not back yet, I don't think.
Is it Ake or Akanji?
Akanji's fine.
Yeah, Akanji's probably the one I'd probably go for, because he plays, I think, at least 60 minutes in games where other defenders get substituted off.
Yeah, for me, it's Stones and Diaz are the main ones you want to go for, because Stones had 2 goals in his last 2 games. And Diaz, I think he's nailed in that sense. I think he's the most nailed City defender. Akanji's one that could get rotated out for Laporte, or if, for whatever reason, Ake is back. Because I'm hesitant about removing Kane because of his consistency. And if Jota doesn't start both game week, it's a loss. Yeah, I do hear that. If Jota doesn't start both, it would be a bit annoying, I think, bringing him in for that double and it doesn't start both. But look, you could go to Darwin if you think Jota's going to miss out. So Darwin hasn't started any of the last few games. Maybe this is Darwin's break if Jota is injured. But I'm not sure I'd be going Darwin, because I still would worry if Darwin's actually going to start himself. Because you could play Diaz as well.
I'd be hesitant if about removing Kane, especially after his big double return last game week. So yeah, I do understand that. I'll probably keep Kane if I had to decide if it's between Jota. I think that would be, even though he's a single game week player, it's Kane. He's been very consistent this season. It's hard to look past that.
Obviously, Kane does play Liverpool at Anfield, so would that come into the factor? Can you guys see Spurs winning? I personally can't. I am quite confident about going into this game on the weekend. I do expect Liverpool to win as well. I think Spurs could struggle, but Kane has managed to score in games where they've even lost. So, yeah, I do hear why you still want to keep Kane. Who's benched by Pep when Foden plays? Probably it could be Grealish if he decides to play on the left, but Foden has played a lot on the right, so it could be Bernardo, or it could be it could be Bernardo, it could be whoever plays on that right hand side. Because one thing about Grealish, he's preferred on the left now. I think Grealish, taking a look at his minutes, Grealish has pretty much started every single game since game week 20 in the double. Grealish has played every game, so since game week 21, Grealish has started and played every single game. So he is as nailed as it comes as a Man City midfielder as of now. But there could be some rotation, obviously, in this double. Yeah, just looking at it, 12 games in a row where Grealish has started for Man City on the left-hand side. So I think he's the number one nailed player in that left-hand side. And the only way he gets dropped is if there's some fixture rotation where Pep wants to rest Grealish for Champions League. But the Champions League isn't until the 9th, I believe. So I'm hoping that we can get at least one start and maybe a 60-minute and then goes off early for Grealish. Going back to, should I transfer out Salah? Isn't he fully fit for? He's fully fit. I wouldn't be transferring out Salah personally. I don't think I'd be doing that. I think you'd want Salah in your team this week. I think he's got a very nice double game week. So no, I wouldn't be moving out Salah. What do you think of this question, Jordan? Trippier to Akanji and Grealish to Foden or Mahrez for a -8.
Trippier to Akanji is interesting because that is it's a very bold transfer move, especially for Man City. As I mentioned, not keeping many clean sheets. But Akanji is probably one of the most nailed defenders to go for. He's not really substituted off before 60 minutes. But then again, he got Trippier. He's got Southampton at home. He's had 10 blanks in 12 game weeks, but still, it's hard to come by with that.
I mean, I don't think I'd do Trippier to Akanji because Trippier can get a big haul against Southampton. I know he hasn't. But yeah, I'm not sure about that move. About Trippier to Akanji. I'd rather have Trent. If you could get a Liverpool defender, assuming you don't have Trent, I'd want Trent as a main priority this week. If you're looking at Trent's the best defender this week.
Yeah, even Grealish to Foden as well. Part of that -8 is a bit of a sideways move because doubles. You'll be basically transferring out a doubler for another one to the same team. So I don't think I would do that for -8.
Yeah, another option I can do is remove Watkins for Greenwood and get Trent for Henry and play Trippier. Yeah, I think that could work as well. Because obviously Watkins has Man United. Trent obviously has that double. And you can play Trippier against Southampton. So that could be better, actually. A better option for you. Mr. Trackpad, should I play bench boost with Raya, Saka, Botman and Watkins? Obviously all single game week players. It's not the best bench boost, if I'm being honest. I would have played the bench boost quite earlier on. I think there was better opportunities to play it. So Raya, who does Brentford actually have?
Chelsea.
No, they don't have Chelsea. Brentford have Forest. Chelsea have Arsenal. So Newcastle have Southampton and Watkins has Man United. It's not the greatest bench boost, but look, if you're going to play it, I guess you've not got long left to play that bench boost anyway. So it could be your week to play it. Should I transfer out Jota? I wouldn't transfer out Jota. I'll just take that risk that he is fit because Klopp said he's fit, or Klopp said he should be fine. So I'll just take that risk and keep him if you have him. If you don't have him, I understand the worry about bringing him in, but he should play at least one. So if you've got him, keep him. Ehan, De Gea, Ake, Henry, McAllister, Watkins to Steele, Stones, Trent, Grealish, Greenwood for a -16. Well, Jordan, what do you make of this?
-16 that's a massive hit. That is, you have to really hope that these players do really well that you're transferring in to make up for that -16, even when they have doubles. To Steele, Stones, Trent, Grealish, Greenwood.
Why would you take McAllister out though? It doesn't make sense to.
I'm a bit confused though, because you say you have 3 Brighton mids at the moment. So who's the other 3 Brighton midfielders you should take McAllister out?
I don't know. I'm confused. I would keep De Gea because he's got a double. So you no need to remove him, even though it is a tough double. I would keep Ake. I'll keep McAllister as well. You don't need to take these players out. Just take the players that have a single game week. Like Henry is definitely take out. And possibly Watkins. Yeah, that could do. I think Trent is a good move for a -4. Anyway, Jordan, let's pull up your team. Let's get your moves locked in. Obviously, it's not long to go now for the deadline.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot I was doing transfers. That would have been funny at the end of the deadline, not doing the move.
If you want to lock your moves in.
But yeah, I'll make the transfers now. So just as a recap, Martinelli out and Joel Linton in for a 1-3 transfer. So I'll just confirm that. And there we go.
Okay. And you're on triple captain, aren't you?
And I'm on the triple captain, yeah. Haaland is the player that I've decided to triple captain this game week with his double against Fulham away and West Ham at home.
Okay. Well, as we took a few of your questions, we are going to do little score predictions as well. We'll probably start that now because we're probably going to stream for about an hour today, as I am playing football later today during the day. I'll bring up the fixtures because there is quite a lot of fixtures this week. Obviously, being a double, it's a lot of football. I don't know how I'm going to fit all this into the screen. All right, hold on. Yeah, that's all of them. What's all the games? There's games from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
What if we show them day by day?
Yeah. So 6 days in a row, we've got football. Start Elise, Alex Moreno, or Watkins. Alex Moreno. Who does Aston Villa have? They have Man United. So I wouldn't start him. I don't think. Watkins, Man United, or Elise has. Who does Elise have? West Ham. I'll still start Watkins. I think. I don't trust that Man United defense, and I could still see Watkins scoring. Anyway, let's get these score predictions out of the way, Jordan. So first up, today's games. Hopefully, you guys can see the fixtures. They're not that small. Obviously, actually, I might zoom in and scroll down.
Yeah, we could show them day by day. Go through them like that.
Yep. All right, Saturday. So today we've got 3 fixtures. First up, Palace and West Ham. How do you think this game's going to go? We don't own any of their players. Obviously, single game weeks. West Ham have a double, don't they?
Yeah, West Ham do double, yeah. Probably underlooked double.
Yep.
For Crystal Palace West Ham, it's difficult to know what we'll get from this game because Crystal Palace had a poor game. Then West Ham has sort of built more form. So I'm probably going to go for West Ham win. And I'll probably say 2-1 West Ham.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 West Ham away win as well, actually. I'm agreeing with you there. Moving on to Brentford and Nottingham Forest as well at 3 o'clock kickoff today. What do you reckon?
The Brentford Nottingham Forest. I think Brentford can win this at home. The record's much better at home. And I'm going to go 3-1 Brentford.
3-1 Brentford?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Nottingham Forest might get something from this game, Moving on to Brighton at home to Wolves. A lot of us have triple Brighton, I think everyone really at this stage has triple Brighton. It feels like now. So how do you think this is going? Do you think Brighton will reward us owners?
Well, hopefully, yes, because it is against Wolves, who, even though they picked up more form recently, I think Brighton need a win. And I think coming off of a loss against Nottingham Forest, I think this is the game where they should bounce back at home. So I'll go with a 3-0 win. I'm hoping they keep a clean sheet because I do have Steele, and I know a lot of people have Estupinan as well. So I'm hoping for a 3-0 win to Brighton.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Brighton. I think it'll be a tighter game. I just think Brighton have looked a bit leggy in recent weeks, and form has dropped off slightly. But let's see. I still think they're going to win 2-1. And Wolves have been a lot better. Kept a few clean sheets, Wolves, in recent weeks as well. Let's move on to Sunday's fixtures. We've got another 5 games on Sunday, so a lot more fixtures. Bournemouth, Leeds. How do you see this one going? Obviously, a big game for Leeds in the relegation battle. Do you think Leeds can win, or do you expect Bournemouth to get the job done?
I think Bournemouth can get the job done. I think Leeds are a bit of a... I don't know what's wrong with Leeds, but I don't see them winning this game. I think Bournemouth have the upper hand. I'm probably going to go with, again, 2-1 to Bournemouth. I think Solanke can score in that game too.
I'm going to go for a... I'm going to stay on the fence. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it might, score draw. I think Leeds will get a point, but I don't see them winning. Moving on to Fulham against Man City. Obviously, Man City can go top of the league, I think, if they win this game. So it is a big game for Man City. And yeah, a lot of us own triple Man City assets. How do you see this going? Do Man City keep a clean sheet?
I'm surprised they don't see them keep a clean sheet, but they'll win by quite a margin, I imagine. I'm going to go 4-1 Man City. I think they want to get the job done as early as possible, especially with Champions League and other competitions around the corner.
I am going to predict a clean sheet for Man City, but I don't know if that's me just hoping as an Edison owner. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-0 Man City win, comfortable. I think Haaland will probably score a couple of goals, and hopefully Grealish can return for me this week. Moving on to Man United at home to Aston Villa. Obviously, a lot of us do have double Man United, triple Man United, even some of us. Some are playing Watkins. Do you see Man United winning, Jordan?
Yes, I think they should definitely win this game. It'll be really hard though for Man United. It's Aston Villa, but they have dropped a bit of form. Aston Villa a little bit, but Man United should bounce back at home at Old Trafford. So I'm going to go with... I'm going to really go high because Man United don't score much, but I'm going to go with 2-1 Man United.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with the score there. I think I'm going to go with the 2-1 win, but I don't think it'll be an easy game for Man United. I know they're still at home, but Aston Villa have played brilliantly in recent weeks. They are chasing now in that top 6. They've broken in, and they will try to finish as high as possible, and hopefully, if they can, get a Europa League spot. So I think it'll be a tough game for Man United, but I'll go with a 2-1 win just. Moving on to Newcastle and Southampton. Obviously, I'm playing Trippier. You've got pretty much triple Newcastle this week, haven't you? So you're expecting big things from Newcastle against Southampton. How do you see this one going?
Well, I'll be very surprised if this is a low-scoring game for Newcastle, considering they scored many against Leeds and then against Tottenham. So I'm going to go with a crazy scoreline here and potentially say 5-1 Newcastle.
Ooh, 5-1.
I think they can go big again. I don't see why not, especially if Isak or if even Wilson plays. This could be a massive scoreline again for Newcastle.
I am going to go for a Newcastle win. I'm going to go for a 3-0. I think Newcastle will probably put quite a few past Southampton. Newcastle have been scoring a lot of goals recently. Obviously, 10 goals in 2 games against Everton and Spurs. So, yeah, 3-0. I think Newcastle will get top 4. And they will be playing Champions League football next season. Moving on to probably the game of the weekend, possibly, in terms of top 6, top 7. Liverpool at home to Spurs. It is at Anfield, 4:30 kickoff as well, so we'll be watching that one. How do you see this one going?
Well, as Tottenham play they did, the way they did against Newcastle, this could be really bad for Spurs. Liverpool could have a decent game at home at Anfield. I'm going to go with 3-0 Liverpool.
Oh, you think Liverpool keep a clean sheet?
I think so, yeah. I think this is the one where they can keep a clean sheet.
Okay. I think Liverpool may concede in this one. I think Liverpool keep a clean sheet against Fulham in the next second double. So I am going to go for a 3-1 win for Liverpool. I do think Liverpool will win. I don't know. I'm quite confident that they will get the job done here. I don't know what it is. I think Spurs haven't been great. I know they did claw back and fight back for that 2-2 win, 2-2 draw against Man United. But I think because it's at Anfield, I want to back Liverpool as the home team. And I think Spurs haven't actually won at Anfield. I can't remember when the last time they won there. I think they've got like one win in 25 years or something. So yeah, Liverpool are heavy favourites for me. And even though Liverpool haven't been playing well this season, 3 games in a row they have won, and they're looking a bit back to their usual self. Still not 100%, but yeah, we'll see. Let's take a few more comments, and then we'll go for the Monday fixtures. FPL Agent, I'm feeling bad. I went for a -8. I don't have Salah nor Trent, and I got Robbo, KDB, Rashford in. I mean, I'd like Salah, but you've gone KDB instead. KDB could definitely do well in his double. Robbo could do well, but I think Trent is the one I'd want over Robbo for sure. But look, I'm on Salah, Jordan's on KDB, so we might have differing opinions on this one. I think they're both good picks. But for me, I'd still prefer Salah. I know after that his double against Arsenal, KDB is very popular now, or as a transfer in, and people want to bring him in. So hopefully, I mean, it could pay off for you still, KDB. Where was we? Monday fixtures. There's only one game on Monday. This is a massive game, by the way, on Monday. Like, this is a huge game for the relegation battle. It's essentially a 6-pointer. Leicester at home to Everton. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. This could be one of those highest scoring end-to-end games, or be really boring and one goal in it. I'm gonna go with 2-2. I think both teams will cancel each other out.
2-2.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 win for Leicester. I think Everton could be in trouble here. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Leicester just to nick it. So yeah, we'll see. I do think Leicester might just survive by the skin of their teeth. Moving on to Tuesday's games, we've got London Derby, Arsenal at home to Chelsea. Obviously, Arsenal haven't won a game in the last four draws in a row. No, sorry, 3 draws in a row and then a loss. So no wins in 4 for Arsenal. Chelsea haven't won, it feels like, in years. Who do you see winning? Do you think Arsenal bounce back, or will Chelsea put another dent in the title race, or completely end it?
No, I think Arsenal should obviously bounce back from their 3 draws and 1 loss in the previous 4. I'll be very surprised if Chelsea find a way to unsettle this game with Arsenal. It's at home as well for Arsenal, so there is a lot of favour to go with an Arsenal win here. So I'm going to go with 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal, okay.
It could even be a clean sheet because I don't
It is
think
at
Chelsea's
home
scored.
as well. Yeah, it's at home as well. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think it'll be closer than actually, no. I think it'll be a 2-0 win for Arsenal. But I think it'll be a bit of a tough game for Arsenal in the sense that maybe they get a couple of late goals. So I'll go for 2-0 Arsenal. I don't really see Chelsea winning here. The only best thing I think Chelsea could do is try and get a 0-0. But yeah, that's my predictions for that one. Let's move on to Wednesdays. These are the double game weeks. Liverpool at home to Fulham Wednesday night. How do you see this one going?
Well, I can see another Liverpool win against Fulham, as it is Anfield too. So I'm going to go with 2-0 Liverpool.
Okay, I was going to say that as well,
Yeah, I think 2 clean sheets in their double.
Yeah, I think they get 1 clean sheet. I do think they're conceding against Spurs, but yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool, comfortable win, hopefully. Maybe Salah to get a couple of goals, and yeah, we'll see. So yeah, 2-0 Liverpool for me. Moving on to Man City and West Ham. Another double for Man City as well as West Ham. Another big game for Man City, needing to 1 step closer to the title. How do you see Man City against West Ham?
Again, this could be a massive scoreline. It is Man City at home, wanting the title, done and dusted early. So I'm going to go with 4-1 Man City.
Okay. I'm going to go for 3-1 Man City, I think. I think they'll get the win. And yeah, I do expect them to win quite comfortably in the end. And finally, Thursday is the final game of Game Week 34. So that is Brighton at home to Man United. Obviously, a replay of that FA Cup game. Brighton will probably want some revenge. How do you see this one going? Do you see Brighton getting something, or do you think Man United will win?
Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Because I can actually see Man United not winning this game as much as I want them to win. I do see Brighton win, and I think 2-1 Brighton.
Okay. I don't know how to. This one's going to be a hard game to predict. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Man United. I think Brighton may get a point here, being at home as well. So yeah, I'll go Brighton 1-1. And that's the score predictions out the way, guys. Let us know if you agree with us or disagree with our scores. Let us know what your thoughts are. But yeah, some good games to watch, I guess. We'll be back we'll be back Sunday, obviously. We'll be back tomorrow for a stream after the Spurs and Liverpool game. So make sure you do tune in for that. Should be a good one. And yeah, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you do hit the like button if you haven't already. Should I start in Isaac or in CISO up top? I'll be starting Isaac.
Yep.
Tony v Isaac, Jordan. Who should I get just for this game week 34?
Isaac.
Yeah, I think
Definitely,
Isaac is the one.
Yeah, definitely would have a chance in Isaac, even if he is risky of benching. I think he can't pass that along when he's got Southampton at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Isaac's the one you probably want. Especially for 36 when he's got a double coming up as well. Isaac in that double could be nice. I'm probably going to look to bring him in or bring Wilson in. We'll see who looks more nailed at that time. But yeah, not long to go now from the deadline. We've got like a couple of minutes. Make sure you guys do lock your team in. I'm just checking if I've captained everything correctly.
Yeah, I just checked if I saved my team. I don't want Joe Linton on the bench or something happening like that.
Yeah, I had to check. I always check now because after my Solly March blunder, like in Double Gameweek 29, I think it was, when I captained him accidentally. But yeah. Yeah, guys, make sure you do drop a like on the stream and make sure you are subscribed. We're very close to 800 subscribers. We're trying to get there before the season ends, hopefully. So do share the video as well on your socials if you can. But yeah, we're set for this week, Jordan. We're obviously back tomorrow for a stream straight after Liverpool and Spurs. Should be a good one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this game week, And yeah, as Ali Mac says, good luck all.
Yeah, all the best. I'm quite ecstatic for this game week considering I'm triple captaining Haaland. I'm feeling very, very confident about it. The way that he's been playing the last previous game, which has filled me with a lot of confidence that he can do well in this double, comparatively to what his last double, where he managed not to do well somehow.
Yeah. I use my triple captain in game week 22 now, I think. I think on Rashford when I think Rashford got like a 60 pointer.
Yeah, 60 pointer.
So, yeah, I mean, Haaland looks good though in the fixtures. Fulham and West Ham. If you're gonna use it, then I guess this week could be it. And yeah, guys, good luck everyone. Thank you all for watching as well. A big thank you to everyone in the chat as well. It's been a good stream. And yeah, join us on Sunday tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time for the knee jerk live reaction where we talk about how Double Gameweek 34 has gone so far. Hopefully, we've done quite well. And yeah, that is it from us. I think we're going to wrap it up here. We'll not keep this stream going on for too much longer. So yeah, I want to say a massive thank you, obviously, and good luck to everyone. Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Just thanks for everyone for watching. Enjoy the football, as it is a very extended double game week 34. So hopefully you do all well in your teams. And your moves have been all done and dusted, and hopefully get green arrows. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously in the knee jerk how well you guys have done and how well we've done. So take care and enjoy the football.